Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's your favourite time of the week, it's In the Frame. Hey guys, so yeah, welcome back to In the Frame, or as many of you now are starting to say, In the Frame Friday. I did say at the very start of it, it might take on, might not. You know, I've been accused of being many things and a trendsetter isn't one of them. That word I tried to say was trendsetter. Anyway, here we are in the frame, and of course this, for those of you that are new, this is the section of our channel where I walk you through each shot, explain to you what my thought processes are, why did I play that shot like I did, why did you use that spin, why did you play that split shot in that way and not another. They always kick off with the same shot, which is the break off. I think last time out I broke off from the green side of the brown, which is my natural side, but this time I'm going to vary it up because, you know, we're living on the edge here. From the yellow side, that's right hand side spin on the edge of the red, back to the ball cushion. Now just caught that red slightly on the thick side, and you can see that red has dragged back up the table. And that is one of the big risks of the break off, particularly at professional level, because that could be my last shot now. You know, in these In the Frame videos, I play the role of both players. That's player A. That could be player A's last shot. Let's see what happens. I'm going to come around the table and see what's around. This red here is available into 1 and 2 pockets. That red at the base of the pack is available into just the left-hand corner pocket. Now I'm going to play up for the blue off this red. I'm going to try and pop the red, and I need a little bit of check side, that's left-hand side in this case, just to stop the cue ball from hitting the back cushion and going towards the side cushion. That check side is going to bring it back up kind of to where that red is now. That's where I want to be, because my next shot, I'm going to go aggressive. My next shot wants to be high on the blue and splash into the reds. That's where I'm going with it. So let's try and pop this red, get above the blue with the left-hand side. Well, apart from the pot and position, that was great. Went from saying it could be player A's last shot to it could be player B's last shot. Now, I can't really dig into this enough and get enough spin to pop the red in the middle and stop the cue ball short of the baulk colours. So I'm going to try and thread the cue ball between this gap. Now, this gap here is, you know, that long, but from this perspective, coming at it from this, you know, approach, from where this red is, it's actually a little bit smaller. So getting the cue ball through there isn't going to be easy. But I am trying to play for position on the blue. I want to be on the blue for the next shot. Now, how's the pace? Round off the side cushion. Run on. It's not too bad. Now, I'm going to play the split on the blue. And my first thing here is to have a look where there could be some plants. I can see one here that's a risk. You can see this red here. They hit the pink full in the face. This red collides into that one, and into that one, which might clip off that one at the back and go in that corner pocket. There's no danger that I can see coming this way. There's a chance that end red might go in. But I'm going to play it anyway. Let's see what happens. Not an easy shot this from here. I'm a little bit further up the table than I wanted to be, so I'm going to try and really concentrate on potting the blue, get that thick contact on the pink and spread the reds as open as I possibly can. Now, how's that worked out? Do you know that's worked out okay? I say okay because that red has glued itself next to the black, hasn't it? That's really scuppered things, to be totally honest. We've pushed the pink into an unusable position, and that red and black are stuck together. So we've moved all the reds. I think nearly every red moved on that shot. We've got the shot at 2 reds there into the corner pocket, but where does the next colour come from? Yeah, I can run the cue ball back up for a blue or baulk colour, but you'd be here a long time trying to win the frame using blues and baulk colours. But I don't see how I can get to the pink here. I certainly don't see a way of how do I move that red from the black and possibly retain position on the black. I suppose in a later shot, if I found myself here somewhere on this red, I could pop this red and stun the cue ball into this red, and you can see naturally the black would go towards that pocket. So that might be something just to think about maybe in a couple of shots' time. If I could pot this red by the corner and bring the cue ball back up for the blue or bulk colour and then work into this area somewhere, maybe it's not as bleak as it looks at first glance. First job though, pot this red, get back up the table for blue or bulk colour. Would love top side of the blue, and I'm really happy with that one. And do you know what? I'm going to play it. I'm going to play the cue ball here into this position, somewhere around here. That would leave me perfectly on that red to play a nice little delicate, controlled stun shot into the red and black, and it will naturally push the black towards the corner pocket. What I mustn't do here is go too far down the table, because then I lose the angle. Anywhere from here to there, and I'll have the angle on that red to play that shot. So a nice, delicately little soft stun here for that end red. That's okay, it's not great, I've got to be honest. That's 12. Keep track of the score. And this is where you have to make a decision. Like, the shot I wanted to play is on, but I'm not perfect on this red. I've got to force stun it. It's not a natural angle because I didn't play that shot well enough. I really want it to be there. That would have been I don't like using the word. I used it in commentary recently and the player missed the shot, but it would have been an almost unmissable cannon. The cannon's still on here, but I've made it hard work by letting that cue ball just drift an inch offline. It's gone the correct distance, but instead of it being here, it's here. Now, those of you that are fairly new to snooker or cue sports might look at that and think, what difference could that make? It's an inch. But in snooker, that can make all the difference. I've gone from being able to play the shot exactly as I wanted to now that shot's not really onto me. And I'm going to have to, I can still try and play it, but it's now fraught with danger. So, what shall I do? Shall I try it? Or shall I play out for the blue or pink? Come on, I'll play it. I'm going to pop this red. I'm stunning into the red that's next to the black. I'm trying to nudge the black on to the corner pocket. It's not a natural angle, this. I've got to force it. And I didn't force it enough. And they're the twists and turns, aren't they? They are the decisions that we have to live by as snooker players, trying to break build. You know, I saw the shot, I could see the route, I planned it out in my mind, and I wasn't able to leave it. I wasn't perfectly on that red, and I knew it, I said it. I knew I wasn't in the correct place to play the shot I wanted to play. But maybe, you know, you just don't necessarily have the presence of mind or whatever it might be in a match to just think, actually, I'll play one of the other shots. I'm not perfect here. I'm going to wait for a better opportunity. Now, I've caused myself a real headache because I've only scored 13 when I should have won the frame, really. If I could have got that cannon right, the frame would have been over. I've only scored 13, and now I've got to find a way of covering that red by the corner. It's very hard to see a place up here where I get the cover, apart from in this corner. I would have cover there. But I'm actually going to go for the blue. I'm going to try and pot this blue into the far right pocket. And if I can get the pot, I'm guaranteed to be on this red. But if I miss the pot, I leave everything. And I'm very, very pleased with that one. That takes the break to 18. And my opponent, who would have been sat in his chair then thinking he was going to come back to the table, would now be heartbroken. Because he would have been egging me on to go for that ball. Now, I'm not going to go anywhere near the red and black this time. I'm just going to pop this red and try and get back up top side of blue. Don't want to cannon those reds. Oh, it's gone wrong again. Get off the blue. Get off it. Oh, dear me. I don't really know how I've hit those reds, to be honest. didn't think that angle was on. I just thought it was a natural to pot the red and come up this side of the table for the blue. I don't know how I've gone there. And I can see from where I've left myself, the only shot is to clip off the blue and back to this baulk cushion. So whilst I'm here, I'm going to have a look at where I want this cue ball to finish. I'm going to check to see if the red that's on the pink spot pots. It doesn't. There's a couple of reds underneath that could be made into a plant, but you can't get to the reds. Those reds into this side, yeah, that's not really makeable either. So I'm going to try and get the cue ball up here. Obviously, the blue's there as a blocker at the moment, but I'm going to move it. So if I could get the cue ball right in behind the brown, that would be great. Or in behind the green and block access to those reds. That would also be great. But after the pot on the blue, my goodness. That's annoying. Right, I'm going to try and get in behind the brown in a direct line. Use the brown as the blocker. Just a bit of a judgment shot, this. Good line. How's the pace? Not sure. Only scored 19 there, guys. That was a good opportunity. And I didn't get the cover either. I was trying to use the brown to block the path for those reds for my opponent and force my opponent down that side of the table. As it is, my opponent can just play the thin clip off the side of the reds. Just going to have a look where the reds might go. That second red might go over that corner pocket there, so there's a bit of danger there. But I haven't really got much else, if I'm totally honest. You know, if this were my shot in a match, my opponent had just squandered that opportunity, I'd be more relieved that I've come back to the table than anything else. Now, I'm going to try and play this red a bit like a break-off. I'm going to try and swing the cue ball around to this side of the table. More so because if I play the thin edge shot, which is the easier shot, I risk cannoning into the blue, brown or green, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to play this a bit like a break-off. That does bring with it a bit of risk because I could go in off in that corner or I could go in off in this corner. But as long as I don't do one of those two things, I could be okay here. Well, I didn't go in off in that corner and I haven't gone in off in this corner. So that's okay. I wouldn't be too disappointed with that. Got an excellent cue ball. That red has just popped out and gone into a pottable position, which I am going to try and pot, but it's certainly not easy. Come to the table 19 points ahead. And I've got to bear in mind here, as I try and cut this red in, if I miss this red thick, there's a chance the cue ball will run into the red that's on the pink spot and would leave my opponent the world. So I've got to err on the side of missing this red thin. That would be hitting the side cushion first, and that will bring the cue ball back towards brown or green. So I am trying to pot the red, but I've got one eye on, if I don't pot it, which side of the pocket do I miss it on? It's very, very difficult to judge from tight under the cushion, and this is about the furthest shot you'd ever get to play on a snooker table. And I got so close to it, it's missed and stayed in the jaws. It's a little unlucky that, I think. So, come to the table, 19 behind, black tied up, pink no good, blue off the spot, green off the spot. It's not looking great, is it? Gonna have to play a deep screw shot here. And I don't really know what colour I'm gonna finish on here. I'm gonna try and pot this red and just screw the cue ball back anywhere up this end of the table. If I get this cue ball back past the blue spot, I'll be delighted because then I'll have choice of 4 colours. Even if I'm short, I'm going to try and get past the pink spot as a minimum to have a shot at the green. But if I could get up past the blue, I'd then have options. Past the blue spot, I should say. Get a load of chalk on my cue for this one because this is the type of shot you see a lot of miscues. There's going to be a lot of movement here, so any of you guys out there watching for good technique, this probably isn't the one to watch because I would always talk about staying down. I'll be moving out of the way as I follow through because I'm going to hit this one quite hard. So get the backspin on the cue ball, right below the middle, down at the bottom of the ball. You're going to see the spin because I'm using this spotted cue ball. You'd like to think that the red was unmissable. I've seen these missed. Watch the cue ball zip back. Here we go. full power. Well, you could see the movement. I didn't catch the red as fully as I meant to, caught the side cushion and brought the cue ball into those reds. However, I have got a shot at the green or the blue. Which one do I prefer? I'm actually going to pot the blue. If I can pot the blue and screw back in a straight line for choice of reds, I shall be very happy. It's the more difficult pot than the green, but it's in nicely and we're in play here. So I was 19 points behind. That's 6. And now I have choices to make because I can pot this red and I can try and cannon into the pink here and bring the pink into play. You'd like to think that even if I'm not on the pink, I'm going to be on the blue next. So I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to try and bring the pink into play and be on the blue. That's worked out quite nicely. Although I don't think, well, I can cut the pink in. Let me see whether it's any good. That's 7. What can I do with that? Yeah, not loads. I can cut the pink in, and I might be able to bring the cue ball close to the brown with loads of left-hand side so that when it hits this cushion, it swings to the side cushion and comes back down for choice of reds. Or I can play the blue. I don't have to play the pink. Of course, I've got to use the rest to play the pink as well. So I've really got to bite into this one. This is missable. I know that sounds silly because it's so close to the pocket, but this could be missed with this much side. Don't want to hit the brown either. You can see the spin on the cue ball. Watch it spinning. Now I've underhit that by some distance, but because I played the shot on the red previously and took the chance to open the game up, if I could pop this red and find my way onto a colour, you know, you'd have a good chance to counter clear, wouldn't you? Got too much angle on the red to hold it for the pink to middle, so I'm going to have to play it with topspin up and down the table. There's a chance here, if I don't pot the red cleanly, I could run into that red that's by the back cushion. If I do pot the red nicely, that cue ball will come up and down the table for pink or blue. So let's give this one full attention. Try and pot the red up and down the table. Come on, nice bit of cueing. Oh, I'm pleased with that. I've hit that nicely. Doesn't matter if I'm not on the pink because I'm on the blue. But I am on the pink. And now we can pop the pink, little screw back for the red that's next to the cue ball here to this middle pocket. Oh no. Do you know what happened there? I don't always play with a watch. And as I was down bridging on there, I could feel the watch rubbing on the cushion there. And I thought, you know, you should get up and start again here. And I didn't. And isn't that a tip for everybody? If you're slightly uncomfortable on the shot for whatever reason, get up and start again. I've been taught that since I was a little boy. And at 42 years of age, I still haven't learned. So anyway, let's check the score. It's 19 points, plays 14. This isn't going to make the highlight reel, but there was a bit of tactical play at the start. So let's see what we can do from here. The black has remained tied up for the whole frame. I'm going to pop this red, knock the cue ball around the table for the blue into this middle pocket. That is short by some distance. And now we're in trouble, really. I mean, I can pop the green, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm actually going to play quite an expansive shot here. I'm going to pop the green into its pocket, and I'm going to send the cue ball on this path here, and I'm playing it with stun and left-hand side. And that left-hand side is going to bring it here and send it towards that side cushion. That means that I'm on this red or this red. Oh, I'll just put that back. Don't worry, nobody saw it. And bring the cue ball around the table here. And I'm actually playing a cannon into these two reds. I'm going to actually try and use them as a stopper. And I could be on 4 reds here after this shot. Just don't want to miss the green. Pot the green, stun and left-hand side into those 2 reds and be on 1 of 4. Oh, that was close. Watch the cue ball. Got the cannon as well. Goodness, that was close. Thought I hit that one well. Anyway, it missed. This is, do you know, this frame's been really, really awkward, and it's been because the pink was out of play for most of it, and that black has been there, tied up for the whole game. It's been a real awkward one, this. You know, but that's snooker, isn't it? Sometimes you get in first frame, first red, and make a big break. Other times it's tough going. Let's drop this red in past the green. There's not a full pocket to go at. Green's going to be waiting whatever happens. The red's there. And I don't really have much choice here. I'd love to be able to get the pink back on its spot. The black's obviously tied up, as we've referenced a few times. So I'm just going to pop this green, stun off the cushion, and I'm going to be on a choice of reds. But it's important to remember that, guys. You know, sometimes you get in a frame of snooker and it's nice, you pop the first red, you manage to get on a nice colour, and, you know, it all looks nice and stuff, but all the frames are worth the same. Try and pop this red now and screw back top side of the blue. It's important to get above it. That's 5. And now I've got to pop this blue and just stun for that loose red. I'm going to wait to try and deal with the reds by the black for in a minute. That puts me to 10, and that puts me 4 points in front as player B in this scenario. Need the rest here. I just underhit that one slightly, but there's been that many mistakes in this frame. I don't think anyone's surprised, have they? Got to zip through this one. And you see the backspin on the cue ball as it comes flying back up the table. I don't know if I've knocked the blue on or not. That's 11. Yeah, I can still pop the blue, but where's the next red coming from? I mean, there's a gap here. If I could finish here somewhere and get through to this red. But I think, do you know, I think if I pop this red with screw, if I pop the blue, sorry, with screw and left-hand side, I think the cue ball's going to come close to this middle pocket. I mean, if I don't go near the middle pocket, I'll be on the red. What shall I do here? I could play the brown. I could play the yellow. I'm going to play the brown. The natural angle here on the brown, if I pop the brown, the natural angle here is off 2 cushions. 1, 2, and it goes towards the black and those 3 reds. So all I've got to do is pop the brown. Right? That's easy, right? Let's find out. Brown to the green pocket. Don't really need any spin on it. This is a plain ball shot, maybe a hint of left-hand side. There's the brown. There's the angle. How's your luck? Get the cannon. Go on, be lucky. Oh. Not sure if that's good or bad. It's 15. That was so close to being a great result. Didn't have to do anything with the cue ball there. That was the interesting part. As long as I got the pot, the cue ball took care of itself. A natural, as we would call it in the trade. Didn't have to manipulate the cue ball. Didn't have to put any fancy spin on it. That angle of attack in potting the brown made the cue ball take care of itself on its journey. The problem is, I've finished bridging, haven't I? Pot this red, I've got to bridge over these, and if I pot this red, I've got to cue over these. I've freed everything, but it's still not simple. This is very, very awkward. Blue's not on its spot, but I am going to pot this red, well, I'm going to try and pot this red that I'm nearest to anyway, and stun up. I've got to raise the cue here to make sure I don't make a push shot. I know that blue pots to the green pocket, so I'm going to whack it. Come on. Yeah, that was nicely done. That's 16, but this has been a good 16. Some breaks are worth more than you get for them. That red does pot. The black doesn't pot yet. So if I can get on this red, that black's going to be available. How do I get there? Okay, well, I'm going to pot this blue and stun off the side cushion and through the gap here of this red and the pink spot. I'm playing for this red. I want that to be my next red. But if I'm not on it properly, I'll play this red next. Pop the blue. Just miss that in off. Don't go in the middle. Now it's just gone a bit too far to pot the red and hold for the black. I've lost track of how many that is. I think it's 21. But that's put me 15 ahead, whatever happens. I'll just check. Yeah, I think that red does pot. It can pot the other one. But yeah, neither one of these is perfect. This red's a bit straighter than it might appear. Got to really force this to get out for a blue or bulk colour. I've done well there. Don't want to cannon the blue. That's a really good result. That's 22. Puts me 15 ahead. And pop this blue, hold for the red on the black spot. Takes this little break to 27. And what that means, puts me 21 in front. That means that whatever I do with this red, I'm going to need that other red on the side. So how do I get the angle on the black? Can't really get for the blue. I could try and play in here to leave the angle to pop the black and get in behind that red, or I can play high on the black somewhere here and I would have the angle again. So to guarantee being high on the black, I'm just going to play a little soft deft stun shot, and that's giving me an angle to pop this black and get in behind the red. And of course that red pots to the same corner as the black, it pots to the other corner, it pots to the middle, and I'm just checking it pots to the yellow corner as well. So the only real problem here is potting this black because it's a lot nearer the cushion. Little stun shot in behind the red for choice of pockets. How did we do? I think we did okay. That puts me 29 ahead. 35 remaining. Just this red and the frame will be over. Nothing to do with the cue ball. I've got the blue waiting. Drop this red in, come on, for the frame. And it's there. And there's been a few false starts in this frame. There was a few chances that went adrift, a few missed shots. There was a few really good shots. You know, earlier on I potted that really good long blue into the green pocket. There was a few mistakes. The red after that left me colliding into the reds and left me behind the blue. These are all just little twists and turns. But there's been some really good shots in there as well. And that's, you know, that's the nature of snooker. Some frames your opponent breaks off, you stick a long red in and you make a frame winning break, or maybe even a century. This one hasn't been like that. It's been gritty, it's been hard work. Shots have gone in, shots have been missed, but in the end they're all worth the same. Brown to blue here, just make sure you go past the blue so you've got the angle to get back for the pink. That's fine. And now I'll pop the blue, just drop it in. Anything but straight on the pink gives me a chance to get back for the black. This angle of attack into the middle pocket is quite acute. This probably looks like a gimme on the screen. I'm going to pot it. The angle, the cue ball might just glide past the black here. Yeah, that's okay. That's worked out nicely. We don't need the black, but we'll play it anyway. So there we are, guys. Not all frames are the same. That was a tough, gritty, hard frame of match snooker, but in there were some real gems. There were some mistakes, as there usually is, but there were some good shots in there nonetheless. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. It's free. And I'll see you on the next video.